Hello and welcome back to Sonny Talks Spurs. And today, as you can tell by the title, we're at it again. We're talking about Harry Kane's future at the club. But before we get into it, if you're new around here, please leave a like on the video and drop a subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Now, let's get into the video. So the Harry Kane transfer saga has yet again taken another turn. Obviously, it wasn't going to remain quiet. We knew twists, turns, new contracts, new deals, talking behind backs, touting, you name it. It's all been going on with this transfer. And it's been reported that Kane has been offered a new bumper deal by Daniel Levy and the club to tempt him to maybe stay and not go to Bayern Munich in Germany. So the Guardian have said that Tottenham have offered a massive new contract offer to Harry Kane that would significantly improve his current £200,000 weekly salary. But it appears the England captain has no immediate intention to sign it, particularly while the transfer window stays open. So I'm trying to imagine what sort of deal Levy has offered Kane to tempt him to stay in North London. I'm thinking upwards of around 350k a week, 150k little bump, not bad at all. He's probably going to name a stand after him. I could imagine one of the new stands in the stadium will be called the Harry Kane stand at one point. Maybe promises of a statue. Daniel Levy did an interview recently at some university where he said he'd build a statue for Harry Kane. Maybe offering him some shares in the club, Obviously, Levy himself has a few shares in the club currently, so maybe he's willing to offer some of his. And maybe some commission on the go-kart track tickets when that gets up and running as well. Just, tempt him in to sign this new deal. But it does seem apparent, which a lot of people were surprised at, that Daniel Levy really wants to keep Kane at the club and is willing to let him go for free next summer. He doesn't really want to sell him for between 80 to 100 million, which is quite shocking if you think about it. That's a lot of money to really turn down. And then in a year's time say, okay, you could go for free. But then I thought about it and maybe, Levy's trying to show a bit of, strong willingness as he does in the boardroom setting. And, he wants to keep the fan base on side, keep their star player. And sort of, why would he really want to, have a lot of fans go against him? Because they'll have, ammo to then go at him and go, well, you sold our player, we're really not happy with you already. If he keeps him for another year and somehow tempts Kane into a new contract, which I really don't know if it's going to happen, then Levy has got a bit more time on his side to, really show what he can offer to the club. I mean, he's had 20-odd years behind him already, but he's in an eternal struggle to really keep 100% of the fan base on side. But I really thought quite a big money bid from, say, a Bayern would really tempt Levy's hand. But he is remaining strong, so you got to say fair play to him in the negotiation tactics. But there's been reports coming out from various journalists that even though And has been there, started earlier this week, the vibe is sort of already changing at Tottenham. And you can tell that Levy is convinced that And will, go on to put in a new, attacking flow, a good vibe around the stadium, the training ground, the fan base will be back on side. And maybe that then persuades Kane that Spurs is the right place for him and maybe we could win something, or he could go down as a legend and, And is a bit different to Conte and Mourinho, even though he's not on the same caliber as them historically, he can get there eventually. Also, Levy is really not happy with Bayern Munich. I saw one article saying he wants to make them bleed, and price them out of a deal. And he's also very angry at them and could reject a deal of up to 100 million euros. He's really not he's no rules when it comes to Levy and the negotiation tactics. I really think he has had enough of selling star assets to big European clubs, whether it be in England or across Europe. And fair play, I rate that. I think, you've got to be a bit of a hard negotiator. People call Levy one of the hardest negotiators in football. I think Brighton are trying to, Tony Bloom and trying to take that mantle from him. But as it stands, Levy is a tough negotiator. Especially, I can understand why Levy is this angry when reports are coming out that Kane has held secret meetings with Bayern Munich manager Thomas Tuchel. So, you know, he obviously wants to try and persuade him to stay and doesn't want his head turned, especially after the summer of 2021 where Kane was, you know, being tapped up by Manchester City and they were talking about a potential move there. I feel like Levy wants some more, you know, points. You know, he wants to be the person with the ball in his court and dictate the play. And he doesn't want Kane to be the one sort of deciding his own future, which seems to always be the case. Even transfer guru David Ornstein believes that Levy is really trying hard to persuade Kane to stay at the club and will do anything possible, you know, tabling some really mega money deals. And I'll be honest, at the moment, it's a total whirlwind. It's just no one knows really what's going on. You know, it's just a lot of if, buts and maybes. There's no absolutes. No one really knows what the future holds for Kane. Will he stay? Will he go? Honestly, it's starting to do my head in a little bit. It is really confusing. And even like former academy coach and Man City legend Yaya Toure has told Kane to stay at the club, which I actually was quite surprised at. So he said, Harry Kane is a brilliant player and a brilliant leader. For me, I hope he is going to stay at Tottenham. What he did last season was incredible. I mean, yeah, 30 goals in this side currently is impeccable. And he said, I hope he is going to stay, being involved with the staff. I can see how familiar they are. They all believe in each other. He came from the academy. He is different. He is not like Sergio Aguero, who came in from Atletico. He is at home. I hope he is going to stay because he is a good player. Why not retire there? Be like Paolo Maldini or Steven Gerrard did at Liverpool. If he goes, that is going to be a very significant thing. Again, this is quite interesting from a player like Yaya. You know, he has made a lot of big moves in his career, Barcelona and Man City and stuff like that. So for him to come into the club and only be there for a year or so and say something like this, it's quite powerful, I'm not going to lie. But even at my workplace today at talkSPORT, they had Bastian Schweinsteiger on the breakfast show, and he said that he doesn't think Bayern Munich are even going to pay up for Harry Kane this summer. And I tend to agree with Schweinsteiger here. You know, historically, Bayern haven't paid up for many players. They sort of stay around that 50-60 mark. Lucas Hernandez was one of the ones where they actually really broke the bank, and they're selling him this year to PSG. So make of that what you will. And, you know, they like sweeping up the talent in their league. You know, sometimes they don't go abroad and try and pluck players out of various teams. So I still think Kane will be at Tottenham this season. And then next year it'll be a whole nother. We'll probably be doing like videos like this again, probably. As for the contract, I think Kane is going to play the waiting game and see what happens during the transfer window. Maybe he signs something later on down the line, a couple of months in when he's seen how And gets on at the club. But then he could also possibly leave on a free. As I say, more questions than answers at the moment. My final thoughts, though, on this, I would say, what does me more? Staying at Tottenham, building a bigger legacy than you do already have, trying to win a League Cup or an FA Cup, because we're not going to win a Premier League or a Champions League anytime soon. You know, playing under an exciting new coach who's going to play attacking football, which will make you thrive, and becoming the league's top goal scorer, beating Alan Shearer's record, or just moving to Bayern Munich, where you're going to win a league with ease. You could win a Champions League. There's no guarantee you're going to win a Champions League with Real Madrid and teams like that around. To me, it's a no-brainer. I think really should stay at Tottenham. And I know football fans will criticise anything he does. They'll slag him off if he stays. They'll criticise him if he goes to Bayern, saying you're going to a league where you're guaranteed. There's no winning. Even if he goes to United, people will say, well, there's no guarantees they can win the league or the Champions League. It's just Real Madrid, but by the looks of it, Real Madrid have called their interest. But what do you guys think Kane will do? Will he sign the new deal and stay at Tottenham? Will he go to Bayern Munich? Will he go somewhere else? Will he go on a free next year? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you have enjoyed, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. I've been Sonny, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye.